Hey guys, welcome to this video. Today we are going to talk about Zombillénium. Zombillénium is an animated movie co-produced by France and Belgium and directed by Alexis Ducord and Arthur Dupuis. Arthur Dupuis also created the whole universe from which Zombillénium is extracted from. He made 3 comic books before the movie was made. But the scenario has been written especially for the movie, so it's original. So what's Zombillénium about, you're going to ask? Well, Zombillénium is actually the name of a theme park in which all employees are dead. They are zombies, witches, werewolves and vampires, and they pretend to be fake to entertain and scare humans who come to visit the park. The story starts with Lucy, who is a little girl who really wants to go to Zombillénium, but her dad, Hector, who happens to be a security controller, refuses to take her to the park, and he decides actually to go there and to find a defect to close the park so he doesn't have to take his daughter there. Yes, nice guy, very nice guy. But the problem is that Hector, once he controls the park, discovers a secret, and the boss of Zombillénium has no other choice but to kill him, and Hector then becomes a long-term employee in Zombillénium. I'm going to stop there for the pitch and tell you why I think that Zombillénium is a great movie. So first of all, the movie is adapted from this comic book. Yeah, here it is. This is the first. There are 2 others that I still haven't read and I'm planning to do that. So what is really interesting about Zombillénium is that the style that you can find in the comic book is actually really well rendered on screen. Arthur Dupuis, the author and the director of the movie, has his own style. He draws everything on Adobe Illustrator, which gives some kind of like a very simple but not simplistic style, and this really dark and unsaturated atmosphere that makes his style so particular. The movie is in 3D and I actually wondered for a moment if it was 3D or not, because it really doesn't look like the other 3D animated movies that you can see all around. Most of the movie is very dynamic, very fluid. Everything goes really fast and still it carries so much emotions. I could go from laugh to cry in a few seconds, and that's really well done in my opinion. So the music plays a very big role in making all this atmosphere so cool, because the soundtrack has been composed by Matt Bastard, who is the leader of the band Skip the Use, and they play this kind of pop rock songs, and it's very well included in the movie, which makes each song really well used. And there is a concert scene that has really cool special effect, really cool artwork there, and that all that plays in the this huge dynamic that comes from this movie, and that really makes you feel so energized. I really went out of the theater with a big energy in me. Talking about the rhythm of the film, I think there are a few minus points that we could highlight, because so the entire movie is very fast paced, but sometimes the movie has to slow down to show some more emotional scenes, but sometimes the timing is lost and the emotional effect then doesn't happen. This is particularly obvious in a scene in which, oh, how can I tell without spoiling you? Well, let's say the descent to hell scene, which happens so fast that you don't have time to understand what's happening. The whole movie slows down and there is a very cool scene that happens, but it could have been so much more powerful, and I think the timing has been lost in this scene, which sometimes there are a few moments in the movie in which you kind of lose the point because of this bad timing. But still, I think the pace of the movie keeps you into it for the whole hour and a half that the movie lasts. Also, what I really appreciated in the movie is the whole political angle that it takes, and this is not so common in animation movies that are targeting mostly children, and that's really enjoyable to see, because then it makes the movie for everyone, not only for kids, because there is a whole background story of social struggle where workers are actually fighting for their rights. And this is a very big theme in the movie when the dead, the monsters, are actually fighting to have the right to exist. And I thought that was a very interesting angle to approach in the movie. Also, the characters are pretty well done. They are all well designed, they all have a personality, they all have a purpose, and there is a real evolution of them throughout the movie. Especially, so Hector, the main character, is actually a bad guy. He's this asshole who just wants to close factories, find defects in factories to close them, and then put hundreds of people jobless. He's got a pretty good evolution throughout the movie, and he learns to use his skills of asshole to actually save the park and be a good guy. Gretchen, the witch, is also a very good character. She's very strong, very badass. She's got this super cool broom skateboard that she flies around, and it gives wonderful flight scenes. And she evolves during the movie, and I've seen the premiere of the movie in Brussels, and the directors were present, and they explained that you can see a slight evolution of her face features because she becomes more mature throughout the movie. And although it was an interesting idea, I think she didn't need that to be this badass character who goes from the bored teenager to the super cool witch who actually has a better purpose than just, well, being there and play guitar. And if I can make a little spoiler alert here, which is not such a big spoiler actually, but Gretchen becomes the love interest of the main character, and that was really not necessary in my opinion. She's badass enough, she's interesting enough as a character not to need to be the love interest of the male main character. So that is a minus in my opinion, because I'm kind of tired to see these kind of things happen, especially in movies targeting children, because the only interesting female character always ends up just being there to fall in love, or for the main character to fall in love with her. But well, that's one of the things that, in my opinion, could have been improved in the whole scenario. The movie is also full of little references to pop culture and to old horror movies, and that again makes it a super interesting movie for adults to watch it, which I'm really delighted about. So yeah, to wrap it up quickly, I think Zombillénium is a very interesting movie, and is just beautiful to watch. There is this creepy atmosphere that really has something special. You can recognize the style of Arthur Dupin, and you can dive into this universe and you can wish it actually exists. So to conclude, I would say that definitely that's a movie that is worth watching. You definitely should go and check it out if it's screened in your theater. Talking about this, I've just learned that the movie has been nominated for the European Film Awards, and I'm so happy about this because we so need to promote French and Belgian productions in this field, because the whole animation industry is saturated with 3D animated movies that come mainly from America. and we need diversity. We need to promote this kind of movies. It's not even a difficult movie to promote abroad. Yes, it doesn't happen in the US, it happens in northern France, so maybe it's not as sexy as LA, I guess. But kids are going to love it, and adults as well. The style is there, the dynamic is there, the characters are there, there is a whole universe to use. And that's also why I'm making this video in English, because I've seen the movie in French and I don't know if it's going to be distributed abroad, but I know that people who will watch this video probably understand me anyways, and I really hope that it's going to be translated, at least subtitled, and distributed in other countries than France and Belgium. And the shame is that not even all theaters in France and Belgium screen Zombillenium, which is a big mistake, because it's really difficult to produce movies in France and Belgium, and it's something that really the producers should promote as much as possible, because we have nice things to show. So yeah, that's it. I tried to be quick. There would be so many more things to say about this movie, but I wanted this review to be as short as possible. I know that I'm a little bit late and that the movie already came out 2 weeks ago, but I really encourage you to go check it out, and if it's not screened in your theater, you can write a letter and ask them to screen Zombillenium in your theater. Thank you for following this video, and I will see you next time.